Momoy Imodu and Tijesu Aderie in our Abuja studio for the conversation about the ongoing security challenges the people of Plateau State are facing. It's quite worrisome, guys. But how are you guys doing this morning?
Yeah, good morning. I'm doing well.
Cool. All right. Looking forward to that conversation and hoping to see a solution being put forward at the end of the day so that the people of Plateau State can sleep with their eyes closed.
Definitely.
Of course, I'm sure everyone looks forward to that. Veronica, it's been a very sad situation for Plateau State, and everybody just looks forward to peace.
After the protracted conflict, I think the government must muster the willpower to help put an end to this carnage on the plateau.
Take over the conversation then.
All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this segment of the program, reaching you live from our Abuja studio. Today, we turn our spotlight on Plateau State, a land of breathtaking beauty, but one scared by years of deadly violence. From communal clashes to insurgent attacks, the cycle of bloodshed seems endless. But are there pathways to lasting peace? For decades, the region has witnessed repeated attacks, with hundreds killed and thousands displaced. But beneath the surface, deeper issues remain unresolved. The root causes go beyond what many see on the surface. There's a long history of contested land rights, weak governance, poverty, and an alarming proliferation of small arms. Security experts say if these are not addressed, peace will remain elusive.
Government efforts, including deployments, military deployments and dialogues, have yielded little to no result. Recently, the state and federal authorities have intensified community engagement and conflict resolution initiatives. However, despite the challenges, some are refusing to give up. Youth groups, women organizations, and faith-based initiatives are promoting dialogue, reconciliation, and early warning systems to prevent violence. In the face of tragedy, the people of Plateau continue to hope to rebuild and to speak out. The journey to peace may be long, but with commitment and justice, the tide can still turn. And for more on the security crisis on the plateau and addressing the root causes, let's bring in a former member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Bargus Dichong. It's good to have you on the program this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to have you here.
You're welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
Looking at the situation at hand, at least 4,486 people have been killed in the endless violence between ethnic groups in Plateau State since 1994, and that's according to a Premium Times report. Is this a failure of security agencies or a failure of the state government, or will you say that a complicity of the authorities who should ensure safety of lives and property?
I think that research of 4,000 should still be looked upon, because if we really want to check the numbers of people that have been killed over the years, even since the 90s, it should be more than 4,000, because if you're looking at places like Riom, where over 40 villages have been sacked over the years and nobody's occupying them. And I want to give you that background so that you know from your opening statement of deeper issues still remain unresolved. And again, with deeper issues still remain unresolved, and part of what you still said, that conflict resolution, if deeper issues remain unresolved, and we are now talking about conflict resolution, if you put the two, over the years, the issue of the killing, I wouldn't say crisis on the plateau, it has always had the wrong diagnosis, because if you get the right diagnosis, you'll be able to get the right solution to such. But where you have people killed over the night, villages sacked, that up till date, over 20 years, the villagers have not gone back to those villages. Wow. And you come with narratives that it's conflict, you come with narrative that it's farmers, herders. So when you continue giving those narratives, definitely you will not get the solution. But this is a mere fact of genocide. This is a mere fact of land grabbing. This is a mere fact of people taking over people's land farm occupy them, farm them, and so on and so forth. And going deeper to recent research, check most of the villages that have been sacked and people killed on the plateau. They have 1 or 2 mineral resources that today they are being mined over behind heavy security by those whosoever that you can't even go down into those villages. Today, those villages have miners that you don't know from who. Those villages are being occupied by people you don't know who. And most of these areas on the plateau, it's either they have high yields of agricultural produce, farm produce, they have high yields of mineral resources in those areas. So when militia, terrorists, bandits come in, chase people out of those, and you carry those people and keep them in the city center in IDPs. Now forget about the villages and just giving relief materials to people in IDPs, but not doing any frankly effort to return them back to their villages to know that, look, this is our place. It's a very serious problem. So as long as we have the wrong diagnosis on this, it will continue, unfortunately. But till we be able to look at the true political will in saying that, look, this is the situation, then we'll be able to get it. Over the years, you will hear when our people cry out. Tomorrow you will hear that maybe how many terrorists have been captured. But today, who is in jail?
Okay, now it's quite interesting that from what the inference from what you just said, it's like it's not just about the herders farmers crisis.
Absolutely, there's nothing. There's nothing that's ever happened, because the issue of herder farmers clash. Even if there's, as of today, the reason for killings on the plateau has nothing to do with herders farmers. Has nothing, because if it is herders farmers clash, what is a clash? Clash is two objects or two people coming together to clash. So why is it that at the end of the day you only have casualties on the people staying in the land? You will not see casualties on the other side of the coin.
So is this a failure on the part of the state government?
No, not definitely. Which state governor today has the capacity and power to police his community? So absolutely no state governor. Absolutely. So that's why even the National Assembly, since the 8th, 9th, and now the 10th Assembly, we have been canvassing for state police. And with state police, every state governor will be the chief security officer of his state. Because what we expect, the only thing that the state governors have been doing, and which is what His Excellency Barrister Caleb Mutfwang is doing recently, is to put up political will to see how it can network with security agencies at the federal level, because they are in charge of security, to see how it can network with the president, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, to see what can they do to be able to address those. As far as apart from that, there's nothing any state governor in this country can do. What they can do is to appeal to people, come out with press statement, calm down nerves. Wheresoever they can come in, they can be able to come in. But as far as addressing, because no state governor today can approve or put in his budget that he wants to go and buy ammunition, none.
Okay. Let's go back to this issue. You talked about whether it's armed militia that are responsible, that not necessarily herders farmers. But how about the aspect where you see that there's this conflict between the Muslim communities and the Christian
absolutely,
communities?
there is nothing like that. There is nothing like that.
So are we living in self-denial as a nation?
Yeah, because those are political statements just to divide people for cheap political reasons. You find on the plateau that the Christians and the Muslims are in harmonious relationships, staying together. Yes, there were instances where you have the Muslim and Christian community had some little clashes down in the 90s, but with the present context that we have now, that is not the narrative. That is not the narrative at all, because you can't come in the night and kill 50 people, sack 50 people, and you say that it is Christian, Muslim, or it is herders and farmers. No, absolutely no. That is not the narrative. Go and show me how many, because there is no way, if it's crisis, and I know that we are fighting, there is no crisis or fight that happens within 1 hour. Because if it is, everybody will be ready. So if it is a community that knows that there is a clash between, so everybody will be ready for war. But this is not a war situation. This is a pure genocide. This is pure land grab, coming to chase and sack people from their own communities, because people will be sleeping over the night and boom, they are being killed. In some instances, burned in the house. So no man that will know that he is in war that will sit down to be killed. And again, whenever community people try to come out for to be so vigilant and and with vigilantes, at the end of the day, in some instances, you will find out that they are the ones that have later been arrested as culprits and paraded with sticks and machetes. But when you see most of those are gunshots around the houses, victims with gun bullets, and so on and so forth. So in the 21st century, we cannot take out forensic analysis to know that these bullets coming from where. In the 21st century, we will not have drones hovering around to know that where did these people come in, even from mere Google map. Before coming here, I put on my Google map and I checked TVC, and I even saw the building of TVC. So in the 21st century, we cannot use technology. I'm happy that last week or thereabout, our governor and the CDS were inspecting some drones that have been manufactured. So those are the kind of things we want to see. How is government engaging in technology to address the issue? Because as long as we continue in lamentation, forgetting the right diagnosis, this will continue. And again, can government go back and assure us that these people that are occupying most of these villages that have been sacked over the years of the plateau, that do they have the capacity to chase them out of those places, so that the actual habitats to be able to take those places? Can we have that assurance from government? Is it that because today you see a governor or the president moving with heavy security? What is that? Why is it moving? Did anybody attack him? No, they are preempting. They are preempting any attack that might happen. So why can't we have those preemptive measures around communities? Well, with the UN Charter today, one police to over, we are below the UN Charter of securing an individual in Nigeria. When you have one police to over 500 or almost 1,000 people, it's not possible. Today, if one police with 1 AK and 30 rounds and facing 1,000 people, he will abandon the gun and move, because at loss, with 30 bullets, he can't be able to do anything. And that's why you will see before most of these communities, you have checkpoints. And when you get to those checkpoints, is one military officer, one civil defense, or one police. And when you see the shell of bullets of most of these terrorists and bandits, you see they are not, even the security there, if they hear the sound of those they will run. Because what can they do?
Well, we'll still discuss more on this, but we'll take this quick short break now. Don't go anywhere. We'll still have more on the program. Stay with us.
Life is politics. In Nigeria, almost every part of our lives is touched by the politics we play. Governance, legislative matters, the economy, security, foreign affairs, internal affairs. Have a feel as strategic plays in the political space determine how we live in Nigeria. The players, the drama, chess piece moves. Be kept informed. Watch analysis of major happenings in the political space and how it affects you. Watch Politics on Sunday.
We're glad to have you back. If you're just joining us, you're watching TVC Breakfast, and we're live from our Abuja studio. We still have with us in the studio a former House of Representative member, Honorable Bagos Dichong. Now, you've suggested a couple of solutions to this crisis in Plateau State. You said the government should look into investing in technology, but would you also suggest a state of emergency to be declared in Plateau State to allow for a strategic and holistic military operation and to get rid of the bad guys and tackle this cycle of violence?
Yeah, was there no state of emergency once upon a time on the plateau?
But
When the former governor Dari was sacked for 6 months, it's not because of insecurity. Has it solved the issue?
In 2023, we saw you call on the NSA to, declare the killings in Plateau State as a national emergency. That's the reason for my question.
In terms of poverty, education in Nigeria today, insecurity is state of emergency. Education is state of emergency. Poverty is state of emergency. Everything in Nigeria today is state of emergency. Are we going to sack the president and say that we want to bring in Ish as president for state of emergency? Everything in Nigeria today is state of emergency. So what we need is the actual political will solution in line with 21st century of solving problems. Because we cannot still be bringing solutions to issues that you now go back, that you are looking at report of killings in Nigeria in the past 30 years, and proper solution. No, dynamics have changed. And that's why I said, look, what are we doing about technology? There is no way in the West, in US or UK today, that someone will fire a gunshot and within 24 hours they will not trace that person. If today, even in US, people that have been wrongly jailed for 20 years, DNA have confirmed that they were wrongly jailed. But today, so why can't we embrace technology to solve our problems? Why can't we engage technology to police our communities? If everybody, all of us today, we are local government chairmen of our own, we provide water to ourselves, we provide security, we fence our houses, go out of the country, you will see low fence, but us here, we put high fence because we want to feel safe. Everybody has dogs, everybody has a security man by his gate. Everybody upon the fence with the security man at the gate, you still have CCTV. You still have it in your room, you're still checking all the time. So why can't we put those kind of personal security to community security? We have the last Police Act amendment included police, community police. In that community police, yes, they bring in information. There are a lot of information. They canvass for information. They see something and they say something. But when they see something and say something, when they bring in the information, when they see bikes moving into different, when they see people in numbers moving into communities and they give out those information, what action have security agents? Because these people that come to kill, it's not one person. It's not 2 or 3 or 4 or 10. They come in tens and hundreds at times in bikes. So hovering sound of even a bike or even 10 bikes coming into a community, you hear the sound from a distance.
Okay, now I find it sorry about that. I find it difficult to understand why this narrative that it is Hadas farmers crisis, Muslim Christian, and you're saying that it is deeper than that.
Yeah, that's political.
Now, the political authorities, are they actually aware of what you're saying, whether it is the state government, the local government, and the federal government?
There is nothing that anybody or nobody is not aware. If you have a wife at home and she's pregnant, the first 2 months, even if you don't know the first month, the first 2 months, you will know that she's pregnant, waiting for the 9th month. So if the first month or the first instance, the narrative was Hadas, the second instance, now the 9, how many years? 20 years. Farmers and Hadas farmers, where? How?
So what do you make of the visits of former presidents have visited there? Defense chief visited, national security advisor, and all that. We have the Operation Safe Haven. So how would you assess their operations and performance over the
They are
years?
doing their best. As far as I'm concerned, they are doing their best. But the political will to take it to the next level is what everybody is scared of. Either scared of the next election, scared of my position, scared of ethnic pressure, scared of religious pressure or whatsoever. The political interest to solve issues in this country is our major problem when it comes to political. When you look at the political interest, the ethnic interest and the religious interest,
So
it is our turn. So nobody, please don't make it look so political. It is he is from our own religious ethnic background. Don't touch him. He is we have had many arrests, but today nobody is in jail because of what? He's from our ethnic group. He's from our religious background.
So you're
He's from our
indirectly saying that politicians exploit this sentiment
absolutely
for political...
absolutely, because the political will to stand firm on some certain issues. We appreciate the visit of the NSA. We appreciate the visit of the security chiefs and whatsoever. But the actual and the right information to be able to address the issue is the problem. Why is it that when you spend money to send your child to school, pay school fees, but when at the first term you now see that he has deficiency in maths, and you still spend extra money to get a lesson teacher? So why can't they go that extra mile to solve the real problem? Because nobody today, if you say it is farmers headers clash, where is the clash? Clash, show us victims from others, from all both sides. Go today, villages have been sacked. True or false or true or no, it's there. It has been sacked. So how can we chase those people that are in those communities? And Plateau said has 17 local government. And if you want to go further to check even out of those 17 local government, most of the local government, starting from Rio, Barkin Ladi, Jos South, now Bokos from Mongu, all these places, you have high deposit of mineral resources. I've said it. So why can't we go Wase? Okay, Wase, that is it's Muslim dominated area. Why is it that there are killings there? Is it farmers and headers? There's high mining activities going on today, now, in Wase local government. So why is it that there is no crisis in Pankshin? Why is it that there is no crisis in some of those areas that you don't have those kind of high mining activity, you don't have high mineral resources? So we shouldn't allow Nigeria to be Central Republic of Africa that today every aspect has militias and mercenaries trying to protect their own community. God forbid that today most of these communities will start springing up militias like in the Niger Delta many years ago. So there will be anarchy. But what the state governor has been doing is to calm nerves. People, we can do something. What state governor? So, and today in the Southwest governors have come together and ensure that, look, Amoteku and community policing take charge of security within the zone. So what is the North Central governors? What are they doing? Why can't they come together to have something like we have in Amoteku? Today we have Operation Rainbow in Plateau State, trying to do what they can do. But we need more than that, because most of these marauders, they come from one border check to another. So every zone needs to take charge of security. So it is very paramount and important that all the state governors should leave politics aside. In the North Central today, only Plateau State is PDP, and the remaining zones are APC. I want to see all the North Central state governors coming together to proffer solution across party lines, across religious lines, across ethnic lines. Because you have these killings on the Plateau, you have these killings in Benue State, you have these killings in Niger State. So it is not the issue of because it's Plateau or a Christian-dominated area, or because the Birom don't like Fulani, or Fulani don't like this one. Muslims have been killed by these same terrorists on the Plateau. Churches and mosques have been burned. So why can't we look at the deeper narratives?
So from what I gather from what you've said so far, this matter has gone beyond the conventional security architecture as we have it in the country. But do you think that state policing or community policing may be the magic wand in stopping the needless bloodletting in Plateau State?
Yeah, I strongly believe that it will reduce it drastically. One thing with a thief or terrorist, once they know that you have the capacity to stop them, you have the capacity to checkmate, they will go away, they will move to the next place that is vulnerable. Because why is it that if your house is heavily secured, armed robbers will not come, but will go to the next building that is not secured? So I strongly believe that state police will, by the word state police, it means that all the security architecture in that state will be indigenous.
No, you have indigens, but if they are ill-equipped, can they stand?
No, once the law gives the state police, the governors and every state, definitely they will acquire ammunitions alongside with whatsoever they will go and get it. Is it through the federal or every state police officer will be equipped? Every governor will know that, look, we need to equip us. It will now be a law for the state governor to make provision to acquire most of it within his own budget, not to wait for the federal government. Check every security formation in this country, even the STF. If STF have 100 personnel, I'm very sure that they don't have 100 ammunitions in terms of either APG or whatever, that every one of them will be able to mount. You can only have those that have something in front that can give cover. So in terms of even our own security apparatus, our security agencies in Nigeria are in deficit because they can't match what these terrorists have.
Now, if we have, I go back to that issue, if we have the Operation Safe Haven, we have all these operations in there, would you say that operations have been compromised, that we've not been able to checkmate these people? Because that is the only hope we have now.
Well, I always say that Operation Safe Haven is just to make sure that you are safe to go to heaven, as far as I'm concerned. Because what have they been doing? When you now have security agencies going to villages to do borehole, doing what they call it, building clinics. Not that it's bad, but because we need more than that. It's not about coming for workshop, having political peace talk and take tea. No, it's beyond that. It's beyond sitting in the room and just say, it always baffles me that you will come when there are killings and on the plateau, or you come and see the Fulani people sitting by the right, community leaders sitting by the left, trying to say everybody should embrace, and when they finish, they shake hands. So if you are bringing them to the table, which means if truly you are saying that which means the culprits. They should be arrested there and then. So if you are saying you are bringing them together for discussion, for peace discussion, and so where are the culprits? So all of them in that room are the culprits.
So are you suspecting complicity with the security agency?
Well, whatsoever it is, I don't know what statement I will use, but absolutely something is wrong somewhere. Okay, that the right diagnosis have not yet been done.
If you say that, how does this conflict depict the true state of security in the country? Because it clearly contradicts the narratives out there that there is a significant improvement in the security situation of the country. And it also questions the huge budgetary allocations for the police and defense.
Like I said, the security agencies in Nigeria, if you see their performance in ECOMOG in the past, they're the best you can get anywhere in the world. if our security attaché goes to other parts of the world, you will find out that their performance in those places, they are the best. I've been in the Foreign Affairs Committee in the House, and we have gone around and we see how our security agencies as attaché, what they do. Check the records of most of our security agencies when they go to courses either in India or other places. They usually top the class. It's just like our doctors, that they are one of the best in the world. All they need is the right equipment to do what they need to do. So it's not about just having what do you think that security agencies, be it the DSS, be it the police, be it the military, they have all the information. But execution, they usually have some certain level of like, this is how far we can go.
How far we can go. Now, they say politics is local. So
absolutely.
security also is a local deal.
Not just local.
Let me ask this. There's a governor in the state, and he is the chief security officer of the state. He gets security votes. Now, let's place it on
Well,
this
I don't
table.
know if governors get security
No,
votes.
no, every governor in Nigeria gets security votes. So how has he been spending the security votes to secure the peace of the plateau? Have you asked him those questions?
Absolutely. Every governor on the plateau, that from Darie to Lalong to present governor, I've engaged them. I've had my issues with the former governor. And because of political statements in trying to address the issues of insecurity. And here I see this governor, he's engaging. His statements towards insecurity on the plateau is different from the previous statement, the previous governor that will come and say, it's my people that are carrying arms. Oh, I warned the Benue State governor not to do this, not to. But here you see that you can see a governor going, immediately it happens, no matter the danger, going down to where it happened. Crying with the victims. Gentlemen, this is how far I can go. I can't buy ammunition to secure you, but I can come to see what we can do to empower Operation Rombo. What we can do to empower the police the community policing to be able to gather information. So let's all put our hands together. So that's what I see the present governor doing. The human face to interact with victims. Coming out. This is the first time that the governor is coming out until you say, look, this is genocide. This is the first time the governor and his aides, you hear the SSG coming on, this is land grabbing. Say it as it is. That's what we want from our leaders. That look, tell us the true situation. Then all of us on the table rally round to get the solution. But don't come and tell us that, you people, this one is the problem. You two, this one is the problem. When lives are being killed on a daily basis.
Well, some
so
people
tell us
are
how far
advocating.
you can go. Then we'll be able to see how we can advise you.
Some people are advocating for the creation of a peace committee to promote dialogue and reconciliation. But what should this committee, what should the composition be like?
Committee for what?
Dialogue and peace.
Yeah, dialogue. All these things have happened. During the Darie era, that's the time that there were a lot of committees upon committees. Last time, even the previous administration, one of the applauds I gave the previous administration of Lalong is having the peace building agency. The peace building agency is there. Records are there of how they have been engaging communities, on how they have been carrying those things are there. So with what we have, they are sacking your village, and you are telling me you want to put committee. As far as I'm concerned, anything you put committee, you want to kill it. So what will the peace committee do? You already know the issues. Go and address it.
How can natives act? There was a time we had the civilian joint task force when the people felt that, look, we must confront this. They organize themselves. Yeah. Can the people on the plateau organize themselves?
Absolutely. If not that, what the vigilante and hunters and the community police and Operation Rainbow have been doing on the plateau, it could have been worse than this. Today you can drive through Riom, Barkin Ladi Jos from the airport, come to the city center and do what you need to do. It's as a result of the joint efforts of Operation Safe Haven, the Operation Rainbow, Community Police, Vigilantes and Hunters. It is a joint effort. But what happens, like most of these killings now are in the hinterlands, the far villages. That's what is happening. It takes you from the city center before you get to places in Bokos like Hurti, Manguna and the other places. It takes you, the terrain, the road terrain is bad and so on and so forth. And in another area, advocating, let government see how we can have institutions in those places, because insecurity don't want development. Once you take development to those areas, they run away, because there will be development. It's just like today in Asokoro here. Where will they come? How will they come? Before they move here, they have been arrested here. But where you have a village, where you have a cluster of villagers, and before you get to another village, it's another 1 or 2 hours. So everybody is just in a cluster. So, but when these communities, when you start looking at developing every community, taking institutions to those communities, you are opening development. So that's another angle. As we are looking at technology, let's look at how we are going to develop our own various. There are a lot of ungoverned spaces in Nigeria. So as long as you have those ungoverned spaces, definitely the terrorists will get in and govern those places. So let's look at, it's not just about being in the state capital or being in the federal capital of a state. Or there are a lot. So what we are even talking about is a restructuring that we are all talking about. When we talk about restructuring, in my own terms and perspective, it's not about dividing zones or dividing states. No. Restructuring this country in terms of insecurity, restructuring this country in terms of economic perspective, restructuring this country in terms of how is education being looked upon. So that is restructuring that I'm talking about. It's not about restructuring in terms of revenue allocation. No, we are far beyond this. So the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, needs to take this seriously, see how we can be able to pass the law on state policing. Every governor should be up and doing, because if you don't have the people secured, where will you even get the next votes that you want to canvass for? So these are issues that everybody should come to the table.
All right.
Because there are people that say, no, if we allow state police, the governor will use it against his opponent.
All right, we've run out of time now, but I would just like to chip in something for you to answer very short. Is there something that the Solid Minerals Ministry can do in resolving this crisis? Because you've already said that this has to do with mineral resources in the affected communities. Is there something they can do?
They can do a lot. They can do a lot. I was part of Solid Minerals Committee in the House. They can do a lot. We have not yet harnessed 0.001% in terms of solid minerals in the country. The solid minerals, the solid mineral or the mining sector in Nigeria is so porous that Nigeria, we are just looking at oil, but we have not yet formalized the mining sector. Go to South Africa today, is mining, but government is in charge, it's well formalized. But here, it's so porous.
Well, we definitely look forward to, that sector being harnessed properly, and also the crisis in Plateau State comes to a full...
Not crisis.
Okay.
I know you're a journalist, you will not say killings or whatever, but there is no crisis on the Plateau.
Right, we hope that, peace returns to Plateau State. That's the fine place to leave it. I must thank you so much for your time with us on the program this morning. Honorable Dachun, it was nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Well, that's it from us here.